If you haven't seen already, I've been busy recreating my dream park here in Planet Coaster 2. So far we have finished the entrance, which includes two roller coasters. We have a Mack Hyper Coaster as well as a Intamin multi-dimensional coaster. In the last video you saw us fully finish this area as well as build the other portals to the other area. In today's video we're going to be building our Wild West and starting our Wild West area. So without further ado, we're going to get right into building our Wild West town. Starting off here right at the front, I wanted to put in a fountain that kind of separates the path and makes you not be able to see some of the other buildings in the area of this Wild West town. So what you can see here is I'm just putting in some rockery in here, and I'm going to put a wagon on top of this. I'm basically going to make a really nice entry fountain, kind of what Epic Universe has in the entrance to their areas, where you kind of have to move around something before you see the whole area. So yeah, as you can see, I'm putting in some cactuses, and obviously the wagon's gone in now. I also put a minecart in, and then I put some lighting on it where I turn it to like a pinky kind of magenta kind of colour. So yeah, after this we're going to start building the saloon to the area, which is obviously a staple of any kind of Wild West town. You'll also see a jail come together, which again is a big thing for a Wild West town, and also kind of a town hall, some restrooms. So yeah, you'll see that all come together during this time lapse. The coasters are probably going to be in the next episode of this, just purely because I kind of ran out of time this week and I've got a lot done in terms of the Wild West town, which is pretty much finished now, besides I think one or two buildings which aren't going to take me very long to build. But yeah, the coaster is going to be fully themed and finished in the next episode, and I'll take you on a full POV of that in the next episode. But as you can see here, we're starting off with the saloon here. I wanted to go with a kind of grand building as you first come in. You kind of see this big grand saloon and a jail off to the right of it, and you know, I wanted to kind of give you a big focal point to focus in on when you first come in. Rather than kind of small buildings and then you get the big ones. I kind of want it to be kind of mixed in, rather than it kind of being all the big bits are hidden towards the back and you can't really see them. I wanted a big grand kind of entrance to this Wild West area. I am going to be putting a train in this Wild West area. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to make it work yet, because I'm obviously going to build a outback area, and this is obviously a very populated kind of area. One thing with the theme of this area is very much the sawmills kind of taken over the area, kind of chopped down all the trees, so all the vegetation's kind of gone down, and the only real vegetation around the area is the kind of entry kind of area as it kind of slowly transcends into kind of derelict kind of desert. And you'll see that in a minute when I put the foliage in around the entrance. It's all still very much like the entrance in the fact that there's lots of planting and trees, whereas as you go further around into the town and further around as you leave the sawmill area, there's a lot less trees and bushes and stuff like that around, because they've cut down all the trees to make all the woods, and the kind of spectres, so to speak, of the area have taken all of the wood and all the money from it and not replanted any trees or anything like that. They've kind of just left the town to its devices. So yeah, that's kind of the kind of theme and backstory behind this kind of Wild West area. It's kind of more something like these big rich people have come in, made the sawmill, and then made loads of money, not cared about the area, and have now left it, and it's derelict and desolate, and it's very much left to the townspeople are left to their own devices in how they're going to cope. That's why the sawmill's got loads of trees and like a river around it, whereas this kind of area's got like sand and no real like vegetation around. There's a couple of cactuses, there's a couple of I don't know what you call them, like small like dead bushes and stuff like that. Nothing that's any kind of proper vegetation, so to speak. Another thing as well which you'll see come together is there's going to be a massive lake in the middle of this area that all the areas are going to be, well, the two areas are going to be around, but you'll see that the vegetation is slowly fading away from that as well. It's kind of, this whole area's kind of got the backstory of Kali River Rapids in kind of deforestation, stuff like that, but on a much bigger scale than a ride. Obviously, that's obviously a big ride with a good story behind it, but I wanted to kind of take that and put it into a full area and kind of build a really good backstory behind it, which is obviously with the spectres and the owners of the sawmill being greedy and taking loads of money. If you've ever seen the Lorax, a very weird comparison to make, but it's kind of like the Lorax if you've seen that, in the fact that a guy comes along, sees the trees, makes something out of them, and then leaves it desolate behind, and then obviously all the animals have to move away because they haven't got any trees or vegetation anymore, so they haven't got any food. It's kind of going off of that kind of idea, but like I said, on a much bigger scale. But that's kind of the backstory behind the area. I do put some people in the town. One thing I wish with the animatronics is a bit more variety. Obviously, in the last game we had female cowboys and we didn't just have men. I kind of wanted the mix of both here, which is what kind of what I hoped with when this game came out, as we had everything from the previous game and more. But I'm sure they'll put some DLC in at some point and add more animatronics in, similar to what they did in the last game. But as you can see here, the saloon is coming together nicely. As you can see, I'm just putting the sign on here. Just putting the sign on there. The saloon, I'm really proud of the whole western town, but the saloon is definitely my favourite building that I built, just purely because of how much time I put into it. And I was looking at reference images on Google for Wild West towns, and I didn't want an abandoned town. A bit of a spoiler going to next area, we're going to have a desolate kind of abandoned town, so to speak, in the outback kind of area, which is going to be like a ghost town. And my kind of idea behind that is I'm going to put it's a bit of a spoiler for future videos to come, but I want to put a shooting dark ride in there based around this abandoned town, and that's kind of the idea of what I had. But it might change. Like I said, no idea is ever concrete with me. Another thing I did in this area, I didn't want I obviously put the path in to get to the saloon before I put these buildings in, and I didn't want to have the buildings directly onto the path. I kind of wanted them to be kind of what Disney has on their main street, where you have the main path, but then you've also got little side alleys and little pathways that lead to kind of the behind of buildings and the side of buildings and stuff like that. That's kind of what I wanted. You kind of have to come off of the path a little bit to look at the buildings or go into the buildings. That's kind of what I wanted. An inspiration for this as well was Frontierland at the Disney parks. Obviously they've got a very kind of vibrant kind of American outback kind of feel to their western kind of area, which of course has changed into Cars Land and stuff like that, which has been a controversial thing. I think I love cars, so anything cars related is going to be good in my opinion, but I can see where people are coming from. They're getting rid of a beloved attraction, but things move forward. That's my input on it. It's things move forward and times change. Obviously they haven't done it in the most graceful way in just saying that it's going to close, but these are big companies, they're not going to tell us everything all the time. But moving back onto focus of my Planet Coaster Park here, as you can see, the jail is now going in here. This fencing I put in now does change. It's not the same fencing as in a couple of minutes, just because I don't think it fits the kind of colour scheme of this jail correctly, so I do change it in a minute. But yeah, let me know what you guys what else do you guys kind of want to see in this western area, whether you want to see rides you want to see. So do you want to see another coaster? I've hinted at potentially doing an RMC coaster in the outback area, maybe a log flume somewhere if you guys want to see that. I have a sort of idea of what I want for the area and how I want the area to flow, but like I said, I appreciate any comments or ideas you guys have that I could input into the park. So yeah, as you can see here, I do put this kind of overhang in. That does change. It's it looks very dark and it doesn't look quite right. So I do change that, and I just kind of put a kind of I don't know what the right word is, but kind of like the word is just not coming to me today. A bit more of a kind of awning, so to speak, rather than a roof or like a. I did look at other things, but I didn't quite like the idea of them. And you see here, I'm looking at this and trying to make it work, and so it just ends up being, as you can see there, it just ends up being a complete flat one. But that, as you can see here, I'm putting in that kind of like awning and cover. That's the word I was looking for, a cover, and that goes in over the top, and then it looks a lot better than it did. But yeah, as you can see, I'm putting in this other fence here now, as it fits the colour scheme a bit more. But let me know what you guys also let me know what you guys think of the series so far. Do you think enough's being done in the videos? Do you think more needs to be done in the videos? Do you think that I need to show a bit more of what I'm doing or explain a bit more? Just let me know down below. I'm still very much learning. And any and all feedback is greatly appreciated. But I will be quiet for a bit and let you guys enjoy me making this Wild West town. As you can see over the last couple of minutes, you've seen this. You've seen the whole Western town come together with the hotel, with the general store, with another little building there. And as you can see now, I'm just building the restrooms for the area. Obviously, we're going to have more than just one set of restrooms in this whole area, but I kind of wanted to embed one into this town as it made a little bit of sense. Kind of like a... I don't know quite like what the right word is, kind of like a rest house. That's a bit more of like a medieval kind of phrase for it, I think, is like a rest house or like a... I'm not too sure, but I kind of wanted to theme it in a bit more than perhaps I had done in other areas. Obviously, the front area hasn't got toilets at all, besides like out the front of the park, which is a bit of an oversight on my behalf, but I'm sure I'll be able to go in and add them in time. And obviously I've still got that little area right at the front that I'm not too sure what I'm doing yet. I was going to put a small like not restaurant but like quick service location there, but now I'm thinking maybe it'd be better served as toilets. But that's kind of stuff that I'll think about over time, and I'll do those little bits like off camera now, because we've moved into the western area. I want to move past the open area and or the entrance area, so to speak, and move on into this area. But as you can see here, the toilets are coming along well. I'm just putting in some of the theming on there. There's one thing I didn't want is it to be like blank walls. A lot of the time that you'll see in this obviously park is based in the UK. And obviously, most oftentimes they're not in the UK, besides like recently with like Paulton's Park and Drayton Manor, and to an extent Alton Towers with Toxicator, and obviously Nemesis Reborn, but you're not really re-theming that. You're obviously just redesigning the track and doing some theming enhancements, but you don't get these proper groundbreaking, well-themed areas, and I wanted to kind of build a park that had that in mind. This is very much the Disney of the UK, so to speak. And obviously we've got Universal Great Britain coming along, which is going to bring universal levels of theming and immersion to the table. So this is kind of inspired by the likes of Universal in the fact it's a bit more of like a thrilling park, some more thrill rides, but also very much a Disney park in terms of the kind of immersion and the family rides and kind of bits like that. The bits that Disney do really well are like the immersion, the theming, obviously the whole like flow of their parks and the whole like family rides and stuff like that. Whereas Universal they are really good at theming and immersing you in lands, but they're very much they're better known for their big thrill rides like Velocicoaster and the Incredible Hulk coaster, and you obviously got the new Fast and Furious Supercharged. Is it called Supercharged? I'm not too sure, but the new roller coaster that's going to Universal, the one in LA, Universal Studios California, I think. It's there. I can't remember the exact name of it, but yeah. Obviously, the other thing is as well that I wanted to have it so that you could kind of get away with having, because I want realism in this park. I want to have like behind like front of house and then back of house, and like have like the like eateries and restaurants have like a bit out the back that has like dustbins and crates and stuff like that, and I wanted to have that in this park as well. So I don't do it in this video, but in other videos you'll see that. I've not really built anything like that yet. Obviously you've got the kind of the sit down restaurant, so to speak, in the entrance area, but that's not like a proper one. People aren't going to stop it there and eat, but that's kind of what I wanted to kind of do, is kind of have these little bits of realistic back areas. But yeah, that's obviously something that I will put in. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But moving along into the last building that I do in this episode, I think, which is the kind of town hall. Disney's very well known for their town hall. I think this is a town hall. I'm not entirely sure, but it's the eatery nonetheless. But they're obviously known for their town hall. Like they've got like a town hall there. They've got like the Country Fair Musical Jamboree, which I was going to do something similar to in this park, but I decided against it just because kind of figuring out the logistics of it and not really having the variety that you would have in animatronics isn't the best for doing something like that. But as you can see here, I wanted to put in an actual like dining area at the top of this where you could sit down and eat your food that you get from this. And you'll see that coming together. Obviously it sits out on the back of that. That hasn't got any theming or foliage yet. That's going to be changing. That's going to have like obviously the desert sand and then like some cactuses and some small bushes and stuff like that. But it's not going to have anything major in it. Like I said, that's not the kind of story of this. It's very much, like I said at the start of this, it's very much these people have come in, taken all the resources and left it a barren wasteland. That's kind of what I'm going for. But yeah, this roof does change, I think. It's not the exact finish. I didn't like the fact it was going to have a flat bit in the middle and it didn't look quite right. So I do change it. But yeah, moving on to what you'll see coming up on the channel. I've got some more top 10 videos coming up. The stealth recreation's already gone up as well, the final part of that. I've also had what I do if I in Thought Park go up on the channel as well. So yeah, there's been a lot of going on the channel, but like I said in the stealth video, and I'll say it again here, obviously videos are going to be a little bit, they're not going to be as frequent. Obviously I was doing daily uploads, whereas now I'm doing them every other day, as that fits my schedule a bit better. But if I can, I will do daily videos as much as I can, but I'm not going to stick to it just purely because it's figuring out the logistics of it's very hard, and I also work and I've got other things. I want to prioritise going to the parks for you guys, and I'm not going to be at home to upload the video. Obviously I schedule videos to go up, but I also like being able to be interactive when I can be interactive. So yeah, that's kind of all the things that I'm thinking about with stuff like that. But what more you can see on the channel, there's going to be another of these Planet Coaster videos coming up from this park. I'm not going to do another recreation. I've got inspiration for my next area of the park, and I know I said I wasn't going to go for I know I said I wasn't going to go for things that weren't like themes of the park in the game, so to speak, but I've changed my mind with that. The next area is going to be something that I've wanted to build in Planet Coaster 1 and never got round to it. I also want to do it in Planet Coaster. I'm going to do it in Planet Coaster 2. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to leave it as a little bit of a mystery, and you'll find out soon enough when we finish this western area. I want to finish this in about 3 or 4 episodes time. Like I said, it depends on how much I get done. It might be 4 or 5. It might be 3. It just purely depends on how much I get done. But yeah. So obviously that to look forward to. I'm going to Chesington and Legoland's Christmas event, so there'll be vlogs from that. I'll also do a review from both of them, so you guys know what to expect, what there is to do there, and what my thoughts and feelings on it. So yeah, that's kind of what you can see coming up on the channel. I'm also going to, I believe I'm going to Colchester's like winter light trail. I'll probably won't do a vlog because I'm not too. I don't really like going to vlog zoos and stuff like that. I much rather go there and see the animals myself, and I'll do kind of similar to what I did with Florida in like a montage kind of thing. I think I did that for Port Lim as well, with like the Ultimate Safari that I did there. I was very lucky to enter a competition and win that, so I thought I'd take the opportunity and obviously take you guys along. I did a tour of the Lion Lodge for you guys. I obviously did the Ultimate Safari tour. I did like a video and a montage of Port Lim as well. So if that's something that you guys want to see as well, some more like kind of highlight videos or stuff like that, let me know down below. But yeah, that brings me to the end of the time lapse, and I'll see you in the real time section. So guys, we are now here in the real time section of the video. I have paused it just for frame rate issues, just because it is a little bit laggy at the moment. But yeah, I thought I'd start outside the portal and let you guys just have a little look at this. But yeah, we'll head right in. As you can see already, if we go, I'm not too sure you can get us. Can you turn it to the chain wrinkles? First person camera. About here. Ah, there you go. Yeah. So as you can see here, you walk in. As you walk in, you can see the kind of look I was going for here, in the fact that you've obviously got this fountain, and as you walk through the kind of portal, you kind of, as you get to about here, you can't really see anything else besides the side of the western saloon there and the part of the jail. But if we move on just past this, you can see that, oh god, not used to using the first person camera. Here is the saloon. I'm really proud of how the saloon looks. I think it looks really good. Obviously you've got some animatronics around that just add to the kind of kinetics of the area, so to speak. Moving on over here to the jail, you've obviously got the sheriff over here. These are all on timers, so obviously it will play when they need to. Obviously you've got one out here just at the general store. Obviously you've got the hotel here. This was probably the more challenging build I've done, just in terms of building the stairs up and getting the kind of handrail correct, so to speak. But just behind it, you've obviously got the restrooms here. Obviously I've done cowgirls and cowboys rather than kind of boys and girls, just to kind of keep it in theme with the area. And this is kind of what I mean by the planting around the area. It's still got theming and still got kind of scenery around it. It's just not as like vibrant as obviously back there, and obviously if you look over here, there's not as much. It's very much, as you go further into the area, it gets more and more decrepit. Obviously here is the town hall, and obviously if we go up the stairs here, you've got the kind of sit down area where you can look out over here, and you've obviously got a bit of theme in there. You can obviously watch as Hercules, and that's not Hercules, that's Atreus, goes round, and then obviously you come down here. Obviously I need to put the wall in here, but we're not really going to be looking in there, so kind of get away with it. And this is what I mean, you kind of got this last bit here. This is obviously going to be the end where this town hall is here. That's going to be the end, so I just need to put in 1 or 2 buildings this side for it to be fully done. But yeah, that's all I've done in this episode. Oh, we've cut back over to here. We're just going to clip through the portal. Oh, how long does it go? There you go. But But yeah, that kind of brings me into the episode. If you have enjoyed, please like and subscribe, as it greatly helps me out and it's greatly appreciated and helps you guys stay tuned with videos when they come up on the channel. And until the next video, goodbye.